And okay. Okay. Can you see everything?
Yep.
Okay. Well, let me see. I'm sorry. The objectives of the meeting are, of course, to share with you information about the program, and then to answer any questions or clarify any doubts that you can have, and respond to any comments that you would like to make or express your needs. And what we expect is that at the end of the meeting, we will all have a clear understanding about the program, what it is. And then we start the process of networking, because some of you are new and some of you don't know each other. And it's not only the networking, but also net weaving process of the participants. Net weaving is when there's a host asking 2 or 3 or more people to meet. It's not just a spontaneous kind of meeting, it's an intentional kind of meeting. What we are going to have is first 2 minutes for the welcome and introduction. Then I would like to summarize the class of 2024. But basically, I'm going to focus on the mentees, because the program is for the mentees. It's a pity that we have only, I know we have a few mentees today. And then I will point out some of the main points about the mentorship, and we will open the floor for questions, answers, comments, responses. And we have our dear friend, mentor Juan Manuel Sotelo, which is a veteran. And then about half an hour, Anna Fruhauf is going to join us from Berlin, from Germany. Luisa, is she here now?
I think she's not here yet.
Okay, great, Luisa. And then mentor Cesar Gattini from Santiago, Chile. And at the end, well, we will have a few remarks, and that will be the end of the session. We expect to finish by 1 p.m. or 1 minute before, after 1 p.m. This is especially for our mentees. We would like to know you, and we cannot have a formal, we don't have time to have formal presentations. But if you can say your name, where you were born, where you live now, and how you identify yourself. Some of you may have a profession or may come from an academic discipline, but maybe you identify yourselves as something else. And then you ask your question or make your comment. Again, a reminder of what we do, what are the objectives of multi-pod mentoring: the professional development, the personal growth, and increase the technical ability of students and young professionals working global health, human development, and environmental protection. But the medium and long-term objective is that we are creating a group of people that are going to be part of a dynamic workforce, and also maybe 5%, 10% of them will be part of a collective intelligence network, almost like a think tank of young people and mentors of different generations. And this is going to be, or where we intend, is going to be a multi-country, multidisciplinary, and intergenerational think tank of leaders, innovators, high-quality practitioners, that what they want to do is improve the planetary health and welfare. This is the status of the countries in which we are now. And I want to let you know, this is not the countries where people were born. It's where people were born or reside. And we have 122 countries thus far. The idea is that participants know the country where they were born or have contacts over there. And they also know the countries where are they residing, studying, or working. So what we need is people who can give us the context, or if we have a referral, somebody wants to go to Zambia, we know we have somebody in Zambia that can give them some idea of what's going on. And our friends from WHO and PAHO know very well the importance of having somebody that can guide you through this process. First, the recruitment. We intentionally do not advertise. We don't use social media except LinkedIn. And before 2023, we had about 50 to 60 mentees. In 2021, we had 81, and it was very difficult to have the monitoring and control of the mentorship. So we have decided that a good number will be around 35. And each year we have at least 5 to 15% of the mentees that year want to continue, or we have some of the multipodians or former mentees ask to return to the program because they have a new need for a decision, or they want to be helped with an opportunity, etc. But the bottom line is that more than 50% of our mentees have been referred by somebody who knows multipod. And I'm going to show you something here, if I may, just a moment. Let's see here. Yeah, this is, for example, the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. And these are the years where we have received students or alumni from that top global health school. And if we count after 20, we may have easily 35, 40 people that we have had in the program, coming from the London School, but we also have 6 or 7 from Harvard, from Maastricht, from the Royal Tropical Institute, and different other institutions. So there's word of mouth, or there are referrals with most of our participants. Okay. Oh, sorry. And this is the gender distribution. Always the mentees, we have about 70% young women and 30% males. And that is because the way the health disciplines, medicine, and all the health disciplines are changing, we're having more and more women entering the fields. And that is reflected in the number of mentees that we have. Mentors, we are always trying to get a balance between female and male mentors. And some years we do that 50-50, some years it's slightly less women than men. But this is important, especially for the female mentees, because many of the young women would like to have the inputs and the tips and the advice of women who have gone through the same process and the same obstacles. There's almost an equal distribution between young professionals and students, and there are some who identify themselves as both. And these are the different regions. We always have a predominance of people from sub-Saharan Africa. And we are trying to get more people from Latin America and the Caribbean. And finally, we are beginning to succeed because we got some people from the University of Puebla, Las Americas in Puebla, Mexico. And so we have 8 this year. And this is important. We are very proud that we have more than 72 different languages, and that 95% or more are bilingual, and we have about 5% who are who know 4 or more languages. And that has been used practically in some cases where somebody asked us to have a overnight translation. Instead of Google, we can ask one of our friends to do it, and to do it humanly. Okay. And these are some of the areas of interest. Again, these are not the professions. These are the areas that they indicated. And you can see that about half are interested in health issues. And this is important because some of them have a very specific focus, blindness, HIV, but some others have a more general idea of what they want: health security, surveillance, promotion. But I want to tell you that we are not an academic program. You are not going to teach your mentee epidemiology unless that's what the mentee asks. What we are going to do, what we do in the program, is we learn with them if the mentee that we have is from a different discipline or is interested in something else. We try to match common interests, but sometimes we cannot do that. The rest of the interests have to do with the environment, have to do with human development, and this is important because we as mentors and they as mentees can really learn together and discuss some ideas together. And these are the goals that they have. Most of them want to find a job in specific field, institution, country, or region. But the majority, slight majority, are still struggling, trying to find their pathways and opportunities. During my time, you decided to be a doctor and everything was preset for you. You knew the subjects you were going to take in school, how many years it was going to take. Now people go to college and university, and when they finish, many of them don't know what comes next. What am I going to do? Am I going to be an actress or an environmental engineer? That happened to one of my nieces at the University of the Americas. Write a paper or thesis, continue their education, or become more knowledgeable in a technical subject. And I want to tell you, when your mentor doesn't have that specialty and you require something very specific, let's say tuberculosis, etc., please let us know and let your mentor know, because we can refer you for one session to somebody who is an expert in that area, if that's what you need. We start the mentoring process before you join the program. You will have noticed that in the application, we ask you questions that perhaps they ask you when you enter university. But we want to know your values, and we want you to know your values, to uncover, discover, and articulate your values. And this, we did a survey in 2019, and number one was honesty. And of the characteristics people dislike are dishonesty. We didn't put all of them in order, but you can see that there is, and they're not from the same individuals, they're from everybody in this class. And you can see these are the qualities that you say you admire, and that I'm sure, absolutely sure, that's what you cherish and what you have. And this is what you are against. And then why do we ask you about the heart transplant? We ask you about that because we want to see how you can make decisions. And when somebody cannot make a decision, says, oh, I need a panel of scientists to tell me, an ethicist. No, 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 my friend. Many times you have very little information and you have to make a decision. You say one, the other three will die, and you decide. And here you have almost the same. And what we're interested is in your arguments, why you decided to say, for example, the scientist who is on the verge of discovering a cure for Alzheimer's, and why do you want to save a 6-year-old very pretty? What if we have said very ugly girl? And here's you are testing yourself. You are testing yourself. Okay? And also, when is unfair fair or when is fair unfair? Women all over the world get less money for the same kind of job, and they're exploited. And some people say, oh, it's because their contracts are independent from each other. And the idea here is if the Anita goes to the owner of the factory and says, oh, I found out that Muro is making 50,000 Calabasi and I'm making only 35,000 for exactly the same job. We have the same experience and the same evaluations. And then the idea is, what is the argument that she can present to the owner to change the situation? How does the owner give as a counter argument, and then who wins at the end? And this is what this class decided. The owner wins in 62% of the cases. And some people say that both win-win. And some people who said that Anita won, well, my friends, they say in that country there are no labor regulations. And they say, oh no, she could go and consult with a lawyer. Sorry, my friends. There's no lawyer who can help. And this is really important. What about things that you really care about? Abortion, for example. You are against abortion. But then we ask you, what are the arguments for abortion? And see what happened. It's not exactly that, but death penalty, end of life policies, traditional versus modern farming, genetic manipulation, etc. Look at how important this is. 16 didn't change their viewpoint. 8% say, oh, I realized that there's another view. I hadn't thought about this. I hadn't thought about this situation. When they have to think about the arguments against their own arguments, it may change their mind. And some people started doubting. So they kept the door ajar. And that is important for tolerance, for acceptance of other viewpoints. You can remain with the same principles and with the same ideas. You have to at least to understand what other people think. And this was the first part. And then you receive the mentorship guide. And this is the index of the mentorship guide. We can open the discussion now, or I can give you a very quick reminder of the main points on the guide. Please, the ones who would like to start the discussion now can tell me by raising their hands. Okay. That means, what does that mean, Anaili? Please translate for me. What does that mean? That they want to hear more? Okay. Well, these are the types of mentors, and you know about them. One, you tell your mentee what you want him or her to do. In the instrumental mentorship, the mentee decides what you are going to talk. And some mentees may feel unsure about this. Say, I don't know how to make an agenda, etc. Doesn't matter. The mentor will help you to figure out what is what you want to discuss. But we try to encourage these two types of mentorship, the instrumental and the developmental. This is a more organic type of mentorship. And what you are trying here is to make the mentee uncover and discover their own talent, their own characteristics, their own qualities. And I'm always surprised a young lady with an IQ of 145 who still has doubts about joining an academic program. Oh, I'm an imposter, I'm not going to be accepted. Wow. So your mentor can tell you that. It's like a coach, it's like a teacher, but it's also an advisor and your friend. And these are the types of mentoring that we tried. Most of the people in the program choose a type of informal mentoring, just an interaction between mentor and mentee. And you have other group mentoring, multi-level, peer mentoring, horizontal mentoring, and we encourage all of them. That's what makes the program more attractive and a little bit different because you have many, many possibilities. And this is what is supposed to be a curriculum. We focus on your personal growth, know thyself, but we also on your professional development, how to look for a job, how to write a high impact resume, interview, etc., etc. And technical and scientific knowledge will depend on what you need and what you want. And again, your mentor will learn with you. I had no idea what orbital junk was until a young physician from Australia told me, oh, those are the pieces of satellites that are orbiting around the Earth. And there are thousands and thousands and tens of thousands. And what is going to happen 10 years from now with all that junk falling on Earth? And that's one example. The other one is the European Parliament and gender discrimination. Well, there are things that you can learn and you can teach your mentor, and your mentor can teach you many things that you had no idea that you wanted or needed to know. And we use also as a framework, the 9 questions about your future. For your pathways, you need to know who you are, what you are, and what is your ikigai. And to find your opportunities, you need to know what you want, especially what do you find and get what you want. And this is where many people are right now. And then when you have the opportunity or 2 or 3 or 4 opportunities, how do you choose? When should you choose? And how do you know this is it? It took me 32 years to join my dream institution, the Pan American Health Organization, because I wanted to join that institution since I was 8 years old. And when I got there from the Center for Disease Control, what have I done? The beginning of the AIDS pandemic, the phone never stopped ringing. My secretary had a nervous breakdown. And I said, what am I doing here? This is a political and technical organization. What am I doing here? And it took me 2 years to get used. And then I loved it. And then I loved it. So this is important. And these are the 3 questions about your pathway, your opportunities, and your decisions. That's the part of multi-part. And here's the ikigai, the intersection between mission, vocation, passion, and profession. And you will discuss this with your mentor and see how you can find all of this. You may not be able to find them. It took me 70 years to find all of them. And the last one was my vocation. I didn't know that I was a mentor until 30 years after I started doing mentor. This is how to conduct a mentoring session. I'm not going to go over that. And here I come to the final part, which is the calendar for the first 3 months. Okay, we started the mentorship already. So we are having this webinar now and Monday. And then on the 14th, we send all the profiles of the mentors to the mentees because we want to simulate what happens in real life. In real life, you as a mentee, as a young person, say, oh, it would be very nice. This person is really good and I can learn from that person. So that's why we send them all and they can choose 3. But don't spend too much time. Don't spend too much time trying to see. All of them are very good. All of them are very good. So choose 3, and in more than 80% of the cases, you will be assigned to one of them. Okay? And then by the 15th, you will know, well, that week you will know who's going to be your mentor. And then we ask the mentees to be the ones who are going to contact the mentor, because that's your obligation, and you are the one who needs a mentor. The mentors are all volunteers, and they are giving you their time, their intellectual energy, their empathy, their attention. So the least you can do is be proactive and contact them. And it's really important to have your 10 sessions in 9 months. Otherwise, you may not achieve your goals. I don't remember what we had on the 18th. I think it's a webinar and another one on the 16th. And I did, what did, we do monitoring at the beginning of May. By that time, you should have had at least one, preferably 2 sessions with your mentor. And the only thing we ask you there is, how are you doing? Is the match satisfactory? We ask the mentor and yourself 3 questions, takes 3 minutes to answer them. And at any time, you can contact me or Anna Ili. Everything is confidential. And you can say, okay, I'm having some difficulty, technically I cannot communicate because my mentor is in India and I am in Australia and I don't know the time. It's very difficult to coincide, or we don't understand each other. My English, I have a different accent, etc., etc. So it's important that you let us know. And we call the webinars fora or forums. Because except for today, I would like for most of you to be the ones who talk. And this is the initial assessment: satisfactory time zone, technical quality, interpersonal communication, exchange of ideas and information, discussion of goals. Chemistry is very important. If you're satisfied with your match, and if it's useful, and then what do you see? You think you will have a good prognosis in your mentorship, because that's what we need. I think I'm going to stop here. These are some statistics that we did about the number of sessions and the success of people. And at that time was 7 or more on 6 or less. And I'm really mad, and I get mad each and every year, because 2 of the requirements of the program are to have X number of sessions, and our mentees fail to have the number of sessions that we require. About 30–40% don't have that number of sessions. And regarding the evaluation, it's the same thing with the young people. I don't know what the mentors, 90% always answer and always tell us, and that's why we know about the outcomes of the mentorship many times. But I don't know what happens and why it's so difficult for the young people to comply. Okay. Well, I'm going to stop here, because here is the process of what we do. And these are, we put 70% of achievement as the threshold to say that your program was successful. And we have each year the mentees and mentors. These are not matched. It's what the mentees and the mentors said about their program. And you can see that most of them went beyond the threshold. And here's regarding the pathways, the job opportunities, the academic opportunities, publications, etc., etc. We also put a 70%. And this is achieved or almost achieved. Well, I will leave you here. And you know what mentors do, because that's in the guideline. And you also know what you give your mentors. And this is really, really, really important. You have no idea of how valuable you are for the mentor. You are validating their lives, our lives. We make us feel useful. You help us and collaborate with us. Many of the technical aspects that I don't manage, and Aili or one of my mentees helps. It's very nice to feel respected and admired by somebody. And then when you see the young people with all these new ideas that you had no idea existed, it's wonderful. Then our memories start getting less and less. And then the young people help us with that. They inspire you. They give us strength, trust, and confidence, and most of all, faith and hope for the future. And that's what you give your mentor. Okay. So I'm going to stop here and open the floor for discussion and questions. Please, and this is something I always ask my mentees to do. Ask questions. If you go to a big meeting, the people who ask questions are people like me, or people in their 40s or their 50s, usually men. They go and they say, oh, I like what you said, etc. I congratulate you. And then they make a comment. I'm the big guy, and I have done this, and I have done that. And then they ask a question, and they already know the answer, but they are showing how usually they know the answer, and they want to show off. Well, it's not who you know, young people. It's who knows you. So when you ask a question, people look at you, and if you say, "Oh, I'm from the university so and so," or I work with Professor so and so in that academic center, etc., people look at you, and then in the hallway you meet with the professor, and the professor already knows that you were the young woman who asked that question, so it's easier for you. So please make an effort. It's really difficult. Sometimes you need to write it down, but try to ask a question. People have to notice you. Otherwise, you will never be famous. And we want you to be famous and successful. Okay? Okay. So, Juan Manuel and Luisa and okay. I don't know if Anna is with us.
Yes, I'm here. Hi.
Anna, can we see you?
Yes, I think I turned my camera on. Can you not?
Oh, okay. Oh, Anna, good.
Hey.
See, first I'm going to ask Anna to tell us something because she has such a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
And please tell us very who you are, etc., and what happened to your life.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Anna. I was am a forever mentee with Multipod, but I mean, in theory, I was a mentee twice. Two very different experiences, but I think they demonstrate how amazing the program is. My first experience was in 2018, when I did my master's, and I wanted some additional technical support for my master's thesis because my supervisor was very busy and I had issues getting access to them. So I got quite a technical mentorship, which was mostly methods-based and feedback on the text I had written. And then my second experience was more almost emotional to me, if I may say so myself, because I was basically contemplating what to me back then felt a really big career change. My master's I did in public health and epidemiology, and I realized that maybe I want to go back to school and study medicine, which in comparison to the US and Europe is not the normal way. Like people usually start at the age of 18. And I was already 25 back then. So it's a choice that made me really anxious. And yeah, I received a lot of support from Multipod in making that decision. And I did go back to school, and I'm really happy that I did. And it worked out perfectly in a way that I'm actually now pursuing an MD PhD. So I'm continuing to work in the field of epidemiology while doing my medical studies. And I really, have to be honest and say that a large part of this is due to just the confidence I got from the program in making that choice. So yeah, any questions you have in terms of, my experiences, or if I have any advice? The one that comes to my mind is, I think it helps if you're really clear on what you want from a mentor. If you have like a clear goal in mind, even if it's something vague, like I want to figure out my next career step, I think that's helpful, but I'm sure Fernando covered this in his presentation. So yeah, thank you.
You better ask a question. This is your chance. This is your chance. And today is your first day, Anna?
Yes, I'm doing an internship.
Tell-
Yes.
Tell me, where are you now, right now? Are you home now or?
Yeah, I just got home, but I'm in Paris. I'm doing an internship in Paris in the
Oh.
hospital. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
She studied at Charité,
Yes.
which is one of the best universities, where medical schools in the world, and of course in Germany. And very, very interesting that she worked in Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
And they really wanted her to stay in Sierra Leone because of the work she did there. And I don't know if the president offered her to be a citizen, or a minister of health. And so she was still thinking about going to medical school, because she comes from a dynasty of doctors. And she said, I'm an old lady. How come I'm going to go to school again? And then the first years are very difficult in medical school, because you don't see patients. But now you see. Okay. Questions?
Doctor Zacarías and Dr. Sotelo.
I'm sorry, Dr. Sotelo, please.
Okay, thank you. Hi, everybody. Greetings from Washington, D.C. Thank you, Fernando, for giving us a major framework of the program, which is great. I think the program, I have been participating in it as a mentor for quite a few years so far, is a win-win program, a win-win from the perspective of the mentor, and I'm sure that from the perspective of the mentee as well. I have another point. Thank you, Fernando, for the immediate goals that you have reviewed with the group. I wonder if you can expand a little bit about this intelligence network that will come afterwards. Some comments on that, okay? Now, the other thing is, you mentioned in your presentation about some controversial issues. In my experience, I have had mentees from Tanzania, from Cairo, from Colombia, Mexico, and so on. So from the cultural perspectives, these things controversial needs to be handled with good dialogue, We all win with that, but what it means for the West, some things are very different from the rest of the world, So these things are good to chat with calm, and we all grow after this good dialogue. Ethics is very important in that dialogue. And the other thing is, Fernando, he's a scientist, and he make a good taxonomy of what mentoring is, but these are gray areas in which there is a lot of overlapping, so don't be so scared about this being in a box necessary, So we need to have this mentor match on the week of the 15th, between 15th and 23rd of March. I took note, so I'll be waiting for some messages from the prospect mentees. And I'm ready for the photo taking, Fernando.
Thank you, Juan Manuel. Perhaps before I try to answer some of the questions, we would like to have some more questions and comments.
Dr. Fabio, yeah. He wants to speak.
Okay.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for the invitation. It's my first time to being a mentor in that program, the MultiPod. And I'm very happy to be here because Fernando Zacarias was a mentor in my life. So there's a lot on my profession that starts with him.
I didn't know that, my friend. Thank you very much. Thank you. I didn't know that. Thank you.
My question is, each one of us will have one mentee or more than one mentee? That's my question, because my first time in that specific program. In my past, I have mentored many people when I was working for WHO, but like internships or things like that. But for that program, I'm curious about the number of people that you'll take care of. Thank you.
Okay. Michael, I'm calling on you.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Any questions? Any comments? Tell us who you are.
I don't have any questions for now, but just for an introduction, my name is Michael. I'm a medical doctor from Ethiopia, and I aspire to be a radiologist and also a global health advocate. I'm very happy to be a part of this. This is my first time being a mentee in this, and I'm very excited to be here. Thank you.
Michael, were you referred by Besa Witt-Bekele, or how did you find about the program?
Yeah. I saw her post on LinkedIn, and that's how I found out about this program.
You know, this is one of the examples. We had a very bright medical student in Addis Ababa, and she wanted to come to the US and study. And she was accepted at Johns Hopkins and George Washington, at both universities. And then
she was my senior, and she was my senior.
She was, oh yeah, I see, okay. And then now we have a group of about 5 people from Ethiopia. And that happened at one time with Germany after the meeting in Berlin. And thanks a lot for that, because we had wonderful people from Germany. And the same thing has happened with Serbia and Romania. We have about eight young ladies from Romania. And that's the way we get people into the program. And they continue to be in touch with each other. And trying to answer the question by Juan Manuel about the collective intelligence, perhaps, Ana, you can tell us about the experience. You remember when you started the group in Berlin about the collective intelligence?
Yes, so we basically had the chance to all come together at the World Health Summit in 2019. Yeah, basically the idea was that we realized that, you know, even I think before coming together in person, like talking to each other online, that these connections that we're making as both mentees and mentors and the knowledge that is coming together is something that we want to use beyond the individual benefit that mentorship can bring. And we want to use this knowledge and intelligence on a wider scale. So we decided while in Berlin, this idea was generated to kind of build a coalition to produce intelligence in some form or another. So back then we were thinking about policy papers and research I'm no longer actively involved, so I don't have any detail on what they're doing now, but maybe Fernando, you can share a bit more. But yeah, that was the initial idea.
Now the president is Charlie Shang from China. And
Yeah.
she's now, she finally got accepted at the University of Cape Town in international development. It was her dream. And she's the president now, but they are trying to get more field projects instead of the policy papers. They're trying to be more practical, and they are doing that. I think they're starting some projects in Africa. So it's a group of young people doing that. But the idea with this collective intelligence is having several generations, not only the young people, but having like a consortium, I don't know, or a group of maybe 20, 30, 40 people who can meet and can discuss not problems, but issues. Some of the issues will be problems, and then offer some solutions. I wanted to ask Ruben to say something because I think Dr. Sotelo knows Ruben and Ruben knows Dr. Sotelo, but he comes from a different area, which is related to health, but specifically tell us, Ruben, what is what you do?
Hi, everyone. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for the opportunity and thanks for the presentation. Yes, well, I live and I was born in Mexico City. I'm 27 years old and I consider myself as a young professional. I had the opportunity to work with Dr. Sotelo at the country office of the PAHU. I've been working there for like 3.5 years till now. And well, I have a question about the task or the questionnaire, specifically about the parts of where you have to decide who lives, because I didn't know if there was a right answer. I mean, I answered what I thought, what I analyzed, but I didn't know if there was something that could be a right answer. Well, besides I studied mechanical engineering, I have worked as as a social communication and information technology consultant. And well, I will I will be glad to share as much as I can. Thank you.
No right answer. The important part is the arguments that you can make to support your decision. That's what is important. Okay. Some people say, no, we need to match, see if the donor, the heart matches with with the recipient. Well, that's not the point. It's only the information that you have. So you did fine. Eh? Your response was right. Okay. Mentor Jerry Collinborn, can you tell us something about what you do? Jerry? Oh, he cannot hear me. No.
No, he's mute. I don't know.
Okay. Luisa? Is she there?
She was here, but I don't know why. I mean, she left.
Okay. Well, why don't we take a picture before everybody leaves? And I don't know if the black screens can show us who the people are. See, when you have a dark screen, the other person is at a disadvantage because body language is so important in mentoring. One of the mentors at the beginning of the program told, oh, no, it doesn't matter because they are taking notes. No, my friend, you're taking notes here through your eyes, through your voice, through your movements. one young lady had a dark screen and how are you? Okay, I'm okay. Oh, let me see you. She was crying. Okay. So that was important. That is important. That you can see what's going on. And Deborah and Vilma. Okay, well, we take the picture. Oh,
Okay.
Deborah is coming.
Um,
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Excellent. And Deborah is coming? No, she doesn't have a camera. Okay.
I'm sorry, Zacharias, before you go,
sorry,
Jamie here.
I had a terrible network,
Okay.
so I'll just.
Excellent. You're over in Nigeria, no? Or where are you, Deborah?
I'm in Lisbon. I'm Nigerian, but I'm based in Lisbon.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Fabio, can you have a lady with Portuguese? It? Okay. Okay, a picture.
So, well, if you want to smile, that will be great. Just
Ask you not to stop.
Zacharias, um, Zacharias, Jeremy here.
Everyone's
You
here.
not hear me?
yeah, Dr. Jamie, just wait for the picture. That will be just say
I
the
want to say something.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, well, I've just posted in the you're hearing me? I just posted in the chat um, some LinkedIn profiles of two of our mentees who just came into this organization seeking guidance on their career change and youth pathway. So I've shared with you some of the status that have come out of their experiences since passing through this process.
Okay.
Thank you.
You want them to be in the program because if one thing that is important, if they are referred by somebody that we know, they are automatically accepted because we know that they are referred by a person who has gone through the program and knows that they will be useful. That's what we want. We don't necessarily want you to be happy. We want you to be useful. That's our mission. Okay? The happiness is for you. The usefulness is for everybody. So that's what we need you. And if you are useful, welcome to the program. Okay, my friends. Any other comment? No?
Sarah, I think you.
Sarah, please.
Yeah, hi, I'm Sarah. I'm living in Austria at the moment. I was born in Turkey, but I'm very mixed nationalities from all of my family. So, yeah, anyways, my question is, well, thank you very much for welcoming me to Multipod. And I saw that there's opportunities to have mentorship with smaller groups, like 3 or 4 other mentees. Is that something that you coordinate, or is that something we would have to initiate by ourselves?
It's up to you. I think it's best if you do organically, and I try to answer also Fabio's question. Most people have one mentee, and some people have 2, and sometimes even 3 mentees, and they can have them simultaneously, or they can have them in sequence. And if you have 2 or 3 mentees, that doesn't mean that you have to have 30 sessions. You can combine them. Okay? And sometimes, for example, last year, we had 1 mentee with 3 mentors. So all combinations work. But the important part is you all are called main mentors. You are the main mentor, and other mentors can be advisors. And if you accept 2 mentees, welcome. Sometimes we have too many mentees, and I ask people, can you take another one? And sometimes in the middle of the program, one mentor cannot continue, and then the orphans are taken. The orphans, okay, are taken by somebody else. And in the first years, and it was too much, I ended sometimes with 8 or 10 mentees. But I do this full time, so it was okay. So, okay, my friends, if there's nothing else to do, I want to thank all of you for being with us, and especially Dr. Anna. And when you are free, you keep going to Sierra Leone, you keep helping them, or you're studying too much?
For now, I need to finish my studies.
Okay, great. Thank you, everybody. And
Yeah, I didn't take the picture.
oh, you didn't take the picture.
No.
Okay. You know,
Okay, just a moment. This will be like fast. Okay, Dr. Vilma, I don't know if you can turn on your camera like for 3 seconds. And you can smile. I don't know if it's, well, I don't know. Well, I will just take it. Okay, so you can smile now and give me like 3 seconds in that same position.
the same position.
Yep. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
And everything to everyone. Okay, everybody, thank you, and let's start.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Soon.